I'm not so sure because I'm yet to receive the update on that time. But at the end, they decided to make it online. So we meet as an online mode. Anyway, you can ask me should there be any question or any queries on certain topics. If you found that you're not so sure or whatever, you can ask me. So please utilize this platform as part of your um, what we call mode for you to ask questions. I'm going to start recording. So even though it's recorded, you can ask anything that you would like to ask pertaining to the topics given. Okay. All right. So I believe that you can see in the PPT, in the on the screen. Yeah, PPT, which is on the HR planning, rational and objective, and the practice of planning. Okay. So before that, I would like to brief you again on your final assessment project. Right? You have
Teachers,
a
I think there's some problem with the
slide
share screen.
screen. Hold on. I think I try to share using the just now we have okay, stop sharing. I share again. I think I share, sorry. Is it okay now?
No.
No, it takes time. Then I changed to
It said that you need to update the software and to add some new features.
okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So before we start with the revision, I would like to just brief you again. I believe that all of you have gone through the question paper. You have 15 pages altogether. However, the most important part is about the how to answer the question, right? So you must read the each single paper. I mean that you must know what kind of requirements in terms of formatting and also a number of words for each question and also the rubric. Sometimes students forgot to check the rubric. So the rubric indicates how your lecturer will mark your paper, which is important for you. So don't go beyond the number of words. I mean, if it is around 10%, it's still okay. But if it is so huge different, then it is means it is not okay because you don't utilize the number of words, right? Okay. So you have around half page of questions. Basically, it is more on the practices. You need to understand the given context, what kind of scenario explain or um, inform, okay? Yeah, in the write up in the question paper, and then you can highlight, you can focus what actually the question paper telling you in terms of situations or scenario in this project, and then you are guided with a decision, okay, that you need to make sure that the project is successful. The project here means you want to resolve the issues currently in the particular organization in Hanoi. All right, so you need to assume in the situation of Hanoi, how can this situation be resolved successfully? And then after that, when you understand the situation by highlighting or yeah, determining the keywords there, and then you need to go through the question first. Okay, so you have four questions. Okay, the first one asking you about is it possible or not, right? Number two, asking you how you can give example of initiatives. So initiatives means the effort that the organization can take, right? So the third one, basically talking about how to improve a certain practices, and I believe that in your assignment you need to focus on performance, the performance. So we have one topic by the name of performance. So I think I have one student here. Are you would like to say anything? Yeah. Um, Nguyen T to Ngan. You like to say anything? Hello.
Uh,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay, okay then. I thought you'd like to say something. All right. And then the last question, it is about how you can, if you were to adopt effective and innovative HR practices, what kind of practices that you would propose, or you would decided to you would plan to be in the in practice. So remember, you must follow all the requirements. For example, for the first one could be power page, okay, followed by the rubric, okay, and the rest of the paper. So make sure you follow exactly the requirements, because your lecturer also got how many number? So I think 60 plus for the HRM 201. Okay, so check the rubric. You check your project marking rubric. For each question, I allocate 25 marks, right? Then there are requirements. The first question basically testing on your analysis, your analytical skill. Okay, and then how you, another question would like to check or would like to assess your ability to recommend, to suggest. Okay, and then how do you reflect the knowledge you gain from HRM 201 to the given context, given the project, and also your ability to apply the knowledge gained from managing human resources, right? So don't forget to check your rubric, the rubric given in your question in the question paper, because we have the different category. Whether you are excellent, you are above average, fair, you are poor or very poor. So there are range, meaning that from 0 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, and also 21 to 25. So one more important thing is you need to have support from credible sources. It's not simply from the blog, the internet, the website like any HTTP, Investopedia. Okay, you cannot simply take up from that. You need to take from credible sources. For example, books, journal. You have so many journal. Go to Google Scholar and find any relevant journal to the context that you are answering. Okay, that's all for the guideline format. You must follow pacing 1.0. Okay, using the right font, right? Okay, so now let's go to our coverage. So as I mentioned to you, we are not going to I'm not going to give you lecture one by one for each topic. Otherwise, it is about the whole semester. So we are covering around 9 chapters. So for today, I plan to complete until chapter. It depends on you as well. Until chapter 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe 5 or 4 chapters. Okay, I look at the your capability, and also how we could go about later, because we started at 9:25 now due to number of students. All right, so we go to our plan, right? Which are planning, rational and objective, as well as practice of planning, which is the main thing in this assessment. Okay, which is really important. So, as a human resource manager, human resource executive who are in the staffing unit or HR department who handle the staffing activities, they must know the whole um, the process of recruitment and selection, how they plan, the manpower planning. So I believe this is one thing that you should know, because you are going to be potential employees later. All right. So these are the expectation from this chapter. Basically, you must understand the HR strategy planning. So as per your question paper as well, you also need to know how to plan, what to do, how to deal with the issues, current issues prescribed in the question paper. Okay, so you must know the importance of achievement, performance, goals, collaborative effort from everybody in the organization. So we are going to look at how they plan. What about succession planning? What we can do to make sure that we meet the current trend, okay, current workforce trend. Mm. Okay, so you must know what is strategic planning in HR. achievement or organizational performance, roles of HR in strategy setting. You also need to know what kind of strategy basically we do have. Okay. You must reflect your final scenario given in your final as well. Okay. The process and then how to forecast HR availability and differentiation between HR or manpower planning and succession planning. So we have two terms when we are referring to the leadership position, we call succession planning. When we are referring to the whole workforce or those at the operational level, we call manpower planning. Mm. So succession planning means specific terms used to describe about planning for leadership position. So basically, strategic planning is about the long-term planning. Okay, long-term planning. So we plan for the future. Okay, right? And it is an ongoing process. So we don't stop. We are going to plan. For example, this year we are going to predict for another 3 years. Okay, it's about the long term, maybe 5 years. So we plan already. Okay, all right. This is important because you need to know. You need to know the given context and also how to reflect the environmental factors. Okay, when you were to come up with decision making, you need to aware what is happening surrounding you. Let's say when you talk about Hanoi, um, Hanoi business sector, or you want to choose one organization to reflect your discussion, or you would like to talk about the HR practices, okay, where the scenario given, we talk about diversity, we talk about different generational gaps, okay. So you must reflect to Hanoi situation and also your company, all right. So of course, we need to understand the external environmental factors and internal. In the strategic planning process, we must refer to the um, vision and mission. Okay, what are the vision? What are the mission? Y- um, uh, uh, a vision and mission can be described in many forms, and we understand that vision is about long term, mission is short term. So we have basically the purpose, at least the purpose, or we can say that deciding what is to be accomplished, and also we determine the principle that will guide the effort. So basically, we talk about profit making and social welfare concern. The profit making, making profit, making money, making high revenue. Yeah. And then social welfare concern means you are taking care of your people. Okay, you're taking care of your people. Maybe you would like to introduce some more uh, attractive practices. You would like to um, revise the salary. You would like to improve employee development. You have the certain policy to indicate that after 2 years they can apply for promotion, something like that, when they are fulfilling a certain criteria. So you can always revise and always improve. You must know the environmental factors. So in your case, in Hanoi, for example, you assume that the organization is kind of uh, food and beverage, or whatever organization that you can give an example, and how you consider the environmental factors. Okay, if you when you want to improve your practices or functions. Okay, so external is about um, threat and opportunities. You have SWOT, okay, SWOT analysis. We're going to look at together. So internal is about your strength and weaknesses. So you must aware of this thing before you can introduce your practices. And then if you look at the objective setting, basically to make everybody understand in the short term, or by yearly basis, or by quarterly basis, they understand what they need to. Okay. Okay, one more thing which is important for you is strategy. Strategy. What kind of strategy that your company is pursuing? Okay. Okay, we have later, and then after that, strategy implementation. Okay. So this is mission. Any question um, here? I believe that your lecturer gone through all the details of the mission determination. Basically, it's about profit making and social welfare concern. It will be in the form of statement. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And this is important for you if you were to reflect your what you call your idea, your suggestion. Okay, you must also consider the environmental factors. For example, in your case, in Hanoi, do you have an issue in terms of threats? Okay, any weaknesses coming from your organization? Threat and weaknesses basically are two components that fall under um, your company. Okay, where you can control. Strength and weaknesses you can control. You can utilize your strength to grab the opportunities. Okay, you can use your strength to strengthen the company. And weaknesses you try to avoid, you try to reduce the weaknesses, okay, to avoid the threat. Okay, because weaknesses will bring um, the negative impact to the company. So of course the organization will have the weaknesses, and weaknesses is within your control. You can improve. Okay. However, the opportunities and threat, the external factors might not be improved simply because you cannot control. It is beyond your control. Okay, you must sometimes adapt with the requirements. Okay, in your case, you are given the situation where there are different generational gaps and employees less satisfied with the practices or whatever, where basically your employees is within your control, but when it comes into, let's say, the organization outside, yeah, your competitors offering high salary, that's your threat lah. Okay, that's your threat, so you must aware on that. So how you can reflect the chapter to your assignment, basically you can consider what are other things that you must consider before you suggesting the practices or your innovative ideas or whatever. Okay. Okay. Next, I would like to focus on the strategy because you need to aware of there are various strategies. Basically, there are focus strategy, differentiation strategy, low cost strategy, and whatnot. But for you, for the HRM 201 students, I only emphasize three strategies. Okay, three strategies: low cost strategies, differentiation strategy. Sorry, low cost strategy, differentiation strategy. Another one is focus strategy. But basically, I ask my student to be good at these two strategies so that you can reflect, okay, and it is fair for you to apply the human resource, managing human resources knowledge to the strategy. So you must know what mm, um, criteria of the low cost strategy and also differentiation strategy. Okay. Can anyone give me, you know, a description of low cost strategy? I would like to see how many of you know. Okay, we have 9. Any of you would like to share under the low cost strategy? Strategy is one thing that you must aware of to reflect your project. So if you look at the term low cost itself, we talk about what? Yeah, it is going to reflect what? Price, right? Price. So it's going to be yeah, your product or your services is going to be lower price as compared to competitors. And low cost strategy basically talking about your price. Your price is what we call your competitive advantage. You're winning in the market because of your price. So we call it is normally under low cost strategy. So basically the strategy we design the strategy or we create or we use the specific terms for our strategy. Let's say it is under a different category. For example, my company is I'm implementing differentiation strategy, and you are implementing low cost strategy. So basically, the strategy itself will prescribe the competitors or will prescribe to the potential customers that you have the best in your company with this. So when I mention low cost strategy, it's confirmed that you have lowest price among competitors. Okay, so we call low cost strategy. So we look at the this is the example, all right? So cost minimization that can later on reflect the price. Okay, we look at the differentiation strategy. Differentiate Differentiation strategy means you would like to differentiate your company among the rest. So you would like to introduce something new or something different compared to the competitors. So here, if you look at the differentiation strategy, means you have in your mindset that this organization basically unique. Unique, it is unique and different compared to the rest. So in what forms? So you would like to know um, what kind of differences? Maybe in terms of brand, in terms of design, in terms of durability, in terms of the policy or whatever. Maybe in another product you can see that there is no warranty, there is no extra service or whatever. But in your company, you're implementing differentiation strategy. You already prescribe that you're different among the rest, and also you can compare it with a customer that this company has very good what we call practices or policy in terms of product policy for you to enjoy the product and also for you to get back to the service provider or to the uh, or the company to deal with the issues that you might have in your product. So we call differentiation strategy. So to make you a unique company or to make you different compared to competitors, normally company require for research and development, innovation, right? Something because they would like to introduce something different. So normally the price also will high because of it involves higher cost. Research and development including cost, and they might have also the training. Let's say they send their staff to training, like incurred cost. So this is under differentiation strategy. So if you were to talk about the practices, you were to talk about the what will you introduce under differentiation strategy. So you can think about the are you referring are you talking about the uniqueness is about the brand, the uniqueness is about the extra service or the complete set of say you have not only the product but you also be attached the complementary product. Okay, so it's depend on you how you um, come up with a package of your product. Is it together with another component or is it really high quality product in terms of length of the um, services or how long your product will be stay what we call um, stay reliable, okay, for the customers to use. Any question for for this part, the strategy, differentiation, and um, low cost strategy? Any of you would like to ask? Any of you would like to ask? Okay, I believe you have gone through since
No.
okay, thank you. So you must at least you can reply on the chat box or you can so that we can complete on time. We don't want to waste our time because you can utilize the time to answer your paper. Okay, so differentiation strategy means it is unique and normally it include cost, high cost. So when it include cost, of course later on the cost will be translated to the price. The price will be high. So differentiation strategy, if let's say you're implementing differentiation strategy, I understand that you have your capital, you have your money to invest. Okay, I indirectly I can predict that your price will be high. Maybe in I also can assume that maybe your product has high quality. So I started to look at what kind of difference that your company has for this product. Okay, strategy. Okay, so this is something related to the what do we call the employees or workforce, right? Okay, so basically in the low cost strategy, we the towards the end the price will be low. So to reduce the price or to meet the yeah the price that we have set, normally we as the producer or as an organization, they must make sure that they incur low cost. So to incur low cost, the productivity must be there. Okay, so for that, maybe you need to make sure that your staff are efficient. The employees are good enough. They can able to produce as much as they can to meet the quantity of output that they already plan or schedule. Okay, for differentiation, we must make sure that we have the right employees who would be able to be more innovative, be more creative, able to um, uh, have be able to uh, translate, we call deliver the best. Okay, because of they are going to make sure that the product they produce actually meeting the even more than the expectation. Okay, this is kind of basically the quality, okay, the physical appearance or whatever. I mean that they must of course meet the standard, and in different time maybe they need to always think about the improvement. Okay, and sometimes we hire the best. Sometimes we do poaching where we attract the employees from our competitors. Okay, when we know that this employee is really skillful, for example, have been in this industry for so long, and then we understand that from LinkedIn or from whatever platform that he or she is very popular. So we would like to we would like to offer um, our our position to a particular person. Then we can do coaching. Okay. Right. So to implement the strategy, it's required for a proper arrangement. For example, you have to be in plan in terms of as we know that planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Okay, you use your best management skill to make sure we have a smooth leadership. Okay, a smooth organizational structure, and also a proper system, communication system. For example, right, communication is also a system. So in an organization, we can create the best communication system or communication platform so that everybody, for example, can access the information. Let's say, if you learn in HR, we have also knowledge management. Okay, we have platform for the employees to interact. Let's say through email. If you were to talk to report to your boss, maybe you use your email, and any instruction also through email. And sometimes last time maybe we have memo in the form of hard copy, but now if you look at the current practice, people are now relying more on technology. So system we use that. So you try to reflect the scenario in Hanoi in terms of environmental factors, and your company, the one that you decided to do differentiation strategy, and then how you're going to apply HRM, and also consider the environmental factors in Hanoi for you to decide new initiative. Okay, new initiative. And you yourself, for example, you're relying on internet, you're relying on the WhatsApp platform, for example, or TikTok or what else, YouTube or whatever. So how your own generation, you yourself might be um, yeah um, might be contributing to the future expectation from the company. So under differentiation, what is your expectation when as a customer you are expecting the product to be a robust product? Okay, let's say robust mean that if let's say you don't want to have a too complicated product as a customer because it's quite hard for you to operate. So you can say that you would like to have a robust product which is simple, it's not so hard for you to bring or whatever, or maybe you have the very excellent app in a particular product. So in the differentiation strategy, how can you, as an HR manager or HR department, identify the right employee who can meet the current needs, okay, and wants of the organization or workforce? Okay, so remember, there are systematic process of matching the internal and external supply of people with job openings anticipated in the organization. So based on the strategy, okay, in your case differentiation, so you can imagine what kind of people you're hiring. Okay, are you hiring somebody who, maybe not really have a what do we call innovative ideas, or they are quite behind from the expectation. Okay, so are you talking about those who are already in your organization, or you are thinking about hiring somebody from a good or excellent background in the more innovative, maybe more innovative culture? Okay, they can come up with a good ideas. So normally we call talent people, right? We call talented people, for potential talent. Sometimes we can hire potential talent. For example, in organization that has a good brand, okay, they always look at their people. They always try to improve their succession planning. Okay, they plan their future leader. All right. So here I might not be going in detail because of we don't okay, I don't ask you to specifically coming up with the the scenario not given you to analyze in terms of strategic planning, but you need to aware of how to deal with the scenario, and under the strategy, the chosen strategy or the given strategy, how you should consider the environmental factors and your capability to meet the requirement or to meet the expectation. Okay, so this is just the process. Okay, if you were to determine the level of your organization where it is not given in your scenario. Okay, right. Okay. In your case, okay, you are free basically to assume the environment, but I ask you to utilize or assume the business environment in Hanoi while you are explaining the plan or explaining the practices. So you try to relate from the perspective of internal, which is inside the company, and also the external, because HRM itself, okay, is influenced by the internal and external. Okay, internal and external. For example, maybe the competitors offering higher salary, so you might be affected with that. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Right. Yeah, this is the what do we call the shortage and um surplus of employees. So this is not related. Okay, for succession planning, I just would like to touch that succession planning is about planning for future leadership position. So if you were to talk about the under low cost strategy, for example, so what is your planning for the long term? So if it is differentiation, maybe you have also talk about a small part on the succession planning that you're going to decide. If let's say some of your innovative idea would be in the succession planning. So because you need to always plan for the future. So under the different strategy, you might need to reflect the long-term planning for the manpower. But for succession planning, this planning is for the future leadership position. Okay, so we need to groom. Let's say you have just entered into the organization, and I see your potential. After 2 years, for example, I identify that you can be promoted to the next. Okay. So I monitor your flow in the organization, and I decided you to be mm, part of the succession planning. So I'll be um properly planned for you to move into leadership position. So mm, succession planning normally uh, requires the candidate of the succession planning we call successor or talented people. Talented people. Normally, company that stay with a good brand, come up with a innovative idea, they have their talent inside the company. You have somebody who we call talented people or the staff. The staff, uh, employee under A category, and then we rely on them. Okay, because of they come up with a good idea, they come up with a very excellent performance or outstanding performance in the organization. All right, that's all for chapter 4. Any question? Which part that you don't understand, or are you okay? Can anyone confirm?
Yeah, quite okay.
Okay.
I hope so.
Okay. All right. So this chapter really related to the context given, and you must understand that why performing HRM functions or duties of HRMs or responsibilities under HRM department, you must rely on the external environmental factors as well. There are two environmental factors, internal and external. Internal, it is within your control. You can control. It is about your strength and weaknesses. You can utilize your strength to grab the opportunity. You can improve your weaknesses to avoid the threat. Okay, threat means your competitors, the let's say um high advanced technology. Is it your threat or opportunity? If you found that the technology is really helping you, supporting you in your business, then it's going to be your opportunity. However, if let's say the technology is really providing you some sort of fear because of you don't have that capacity to to use the technology. The company don't have budget to buy the technology, or we are not really have people who are good at technology. So maybe it's going to be your threat. So in your context in Hanoi, for example, you can assume what kind of company you are. You are free to assume what kind of company you are. Meaning you can give example that in your organization you concern on blah 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 blah, right? So basically, the organization is competing with what, or you can say that differentiation strategy providing the company a bright future. Okay, this is because of the nature of workforce nowadays require for very innovative and very effective um, compensation, training, or whatever. And then you can talk about the expectation from customer to reflect your um, employee readiness. Okay, and you talk about what do you plan in future. Before you, out of four, basically you need to decide on the innovative ideas that you can introduce, okay, development, right? And then the problems also you can share. You can identify what kind of problem that you might face. Okay, okay, because of the strategy itself guided you how to prepare your strength, and also how to prepare yourself. Okay, from the perspective of HR to stay alive, for your company to stay alive, for you to sustain. So you must understand also the sustainability. What is sustainability? All right. So can I move to the chapter say 5? Okay, this chapter is really important. You must understand differentiation strategy and cost leadership strategy. So you refer to your context. If the question given use differentiation strategy, so what kind of criteria under differentiation strategy? Okay, you need organization need to invest more because of you want to compete because you're telling all the public that you are different under the differentiation strategy. Okay, so I think I move to the next chapter, chapters 5. This chapter also is really related to your project. Okay, job analysis, job design, and quality of work life. Can you see on the screen?
Can. Yeah, I can.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so you reflect your context given. So if let's say it is differentiation strategy or low cost strategy, you must imagine what can you introduce. If under low cost strategy, you need to save your budget. You have no what do we call, um you don't have excess money. You have limitation in terms of cost. You have limitation in terms of what do you call resources. Okay, but for the differentiation, normally you you can invest. The most important thing is about different, to make it different, to make it unique, to align with the current trend, to compete. Okay, that is under differentiation. Okay, so here the nature of workforce itself require for the organization to meet their expectation. So if you fail to meet employees' expectation, they might not be committed to your company. They might leave your company. They might find another company. You can assume yourself. For example, you prefer flexibility. You would like to have a from feedback. Okay, and then speed of response is really important. So the nature of workforce um, influence the capacity of the company to be more productive or to offer to produce the quality output. Okay, so we have job analysis, job design, and quality of work life. So you must reflect this chapter to your project. All right. Okay. So we would like to see what kind of differences that we have currently in our people, our workforce. Okay. So this is one part that I believe that I tested you in the midterm, in the test, right? So you're not going to analyze the job, but just a brief description where in the job analysis basically we um, describe in a very accurate or very concise and also very clear description about each single job. So meaning if you change the nature of job, you must revise and come up with the updated one. Okay, in your case, if let's say in your case, you need to suggest, okay, you need to propose the more innovative or whatever. So job analysis is applicable to um to to s- to be updated or to revise the job analysis, okay, to make it more clear. All right. So these are the data that are important for the job analysis. I think this is easy for you lah, okay, because I tested already in the test what kind of component under the job analysis. It's about the work activities, workers attribute, and work context. All right. Good. Okay. Okay. Here, yeah, this is not okay. This is more on job analysis. Okay, I tested already. I just would like to highlight on the last part, I think, for this job analysis. Yeah. And you also apply this part in your project, okay, when you come up with your project. Yeah. Okay. Okay, job design. Yeah, job design. So as a revision for this part, I prefer to yeah uh, repeat, or we could say that get get back to the students on yeah, maybe last time you went through with your lecturer, and now we looked at again for the job design concepts. Why I choose job design? Because of the nature of the employees nowadays are different compared to the earlier time. We could say that maybe the baby boomers time, yeah, where um they're expecting a different thing. Let's say nowadays you're expecting everything must be, you must I need a pop-up, or I need an instant message. When you have an update, I need to make sure that I supposed to receive the update as and when you posted the message. So maybe pop up through handphone, sorry, email or whatever. Okay, so the job in from the perspective of job design, um, it is also important because the design of the job might lead to employees' interest. We need to design the job to make it interesting. Okay, so there is also there are also criteria for the job to design the job. If you look at here, organization always need to plan in terms of how to increase job satisfaction. Let's say if you like to expect that the employees will produce a high quality product, they can come up with a good idea. you must make sure that they have enough time for them to take rest. They must have a certain happiness inside. Okay, so they are provided with a very let's say flexibility, okay, where they can, as and when they feel like they would like to focus on a certain task, then they are free to do the task at their own pace, for example. So flexibility is some of the example of the um, what you call support that we provide in the workplace. So increase job satisfaction, reduce job fatigue, improve quality of work, okay, provide meaning to work, challenging work or whatever. Okay, the criteria that can support the employee to have more interest or to perform the job successfully, more efficient lah. Okay, so if you were to design on the more attractive job, more motivated individual in the organization, so you must create something where and the employees are happy. Okay, so job enrichment also, we provide authority for the employees to feel that they are enriched with a certain with a certain thing, like we allow them to um come up with their come up of or involved in decision making. Okay, job enlargement, so this kind of thing basically you can apply if you it depends on you how you like to utilize the job and enrichment, for example. Okay, this is on the manpower now from the manpower planning. Okay, in staffing, you can plan how to um make them attractive to the job or make them more motivated. Okay, job enlargement, job rotation. Okay, job re-engineering. Sometimes students normally don't have problem with the job enlargement, job enrichment, job rotation, and job re-engineering is quite hard for them. Re-engineering normally, if you can see the terms engineering, okay, engineer. Okay, and then the job re-engineering mean we relook or we revise the job to make it more efficient, to reduce the cost, to increase the effectiveness, to make it more meaningful. Okay, so basically job re-engineering, we talk about radical redesign, where we redesign the job to make it more efficient, to save time, and also to make to avoid any unnecessary thing. Sometimes we can remove, instead of 7 processes, we remove to 3 processes. So we call re-engineering. So we redesign the task in a process, review work team, adjust time commitment, and enhance for productivity. So if you look at the current generation, okay, we are relying most on IT. Okay, we prefer to have a speed of response. We also we are looking for um, valuable process. Okay, so you need to use job re-engineering if it is applicable in the certain process. Okay, towards the end, I would like to highlight on the quality of work life. Okay, everybody nowadays, okay, they they need for their own time. They need for a balance between work and personal life. Okay, so not only the current generation, but everybody as a workforce, they would like to have their own personal time and their own quality of work life, means work life balance. Okay, so quality of work life means work life balance. So there are various kind of uh, support that the organization could provide. If let's say you would like to generate, you would like your employees to support with the new ideas, you would like talented people to really bring a valuable what we call profit or new um, new ideas, okay, to transform your um, current practices. You also need somebody who come up with a very good idea. So they should have enough time, or they should have a good quality of work life. Yeah. So basically, what quality of work life is referring to the happiness or dissatisfaction with one career, level of happiness or dissatisfaction with one's career. Okay. Yeah. The rest, we know that the quality of a life will produce various kind of consequences. Okay, so these are among the quality of a life lah. So you will perceive that you have a quality of a life when you can have your own time with your friends. You're able to enjoy the enjoy the environment. You enjoy in the workplace, and also you enjoy outside office hour. I mean, you have your own time, so where you can have social life. I mean that you can mingle around with the society. You have your own hobby, for example. So we call it you might you'll be happy with the nature of the job. Okay, the flexible hours. Okay, we call these are among the criteria on the quality of work life. So that's all for chapter 5. Okay, so you look at the differences in the workforce. They came from different generation. They have different expectations, but at the end, we can make conclusion that everybody need quality of work life. They need work life balance. So how your organization can support that? Because we are expecting people come to the organization with their own feeling. Okay, they have a feeling towards the organization. They will be more committed towards the organization. So that is another, what do we call, another step maybe your company can take to make sure that people get what they want from the organization. Okay. Any question? Are you okay? Can you understand?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so
Honestly,
check.
we
Yes.
quite understand about the slide with about the uh, I would say uh, wait a minute.
Come. Yeah.
About the final project. It's
Okay.
hard. It's really hard to understand.
Hard to
Something.
understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have the
Yeah.
project with you now? All of you?
Yeah. Yeah. We
All of you
have.
got the project question in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What about Wu Ti Huyen, Lee Ti Wong, Tran Ti Kim, and the rest? Okay. So that's why when I ask you, please ask or whatever, you can you can always alert me. All right. So you have the question in front of you. The nature of workforce today across the countries, including Hanoi, have different generational cohorts. Okay, can I ask you, can you understand the passage there? You understand?
Sorry, understand about what?
The
The
passage, the scenario given, the question,
uh,
the passage, the story, the scenario given. Can you understand?
yeah. It's like to maintain about the main idea here is in Hanoi and have the different generations cohorts.
Yeah. You understand generational cohorts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Different generational cohorts. So you don't have issue with the passage, right? With the scenario, but can I confirm? Are you okay with the scenario there, the story there, the passage there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So even to easier, you can jot down what are important things there. The question, I think the question, right? You don't know how to start with, or you don't know how to relate, is it?
Yes.
Okay. We look at question number 1. Using the information given in this context, do you think whether it is possible for the company to change its policy and practices toward the new strategy? You, I'm not going to. I cannot um guide you in detail to answer the question because this is unfair. I just provide you guidance for you to know the format and how you can utilize the passage or utilize the scenario for you to discuss this part. All right. Okay, when I use the context mean the scenario given here, the story here, the passage here. Okay, so from your understanding, okay, from the points or from the keywords or from the scenario in this company, you need to understand. So this is we call the project. So it is you need to assume that this project you are this project is given for you to resolve. Okay, the scenario that they give you the scenario, the problems, and the expectation. Scenario, problem, expectation. Okay, if you look at in this scenario, okay, and then you must make sure that you would be able to answer the question to identify okay what you can do because let's say anything happen in the company you must always need to analyze you collect information okay, from the given context here to answer the question. Okay, question number 1. Okay, based on the information that you analyze from the situation, from the problems, from the scenario given, from the expectation, okay, so how can you um answer, how can you plan for that? So question number 1 basically require you to think either it is possible or not to apply the new policy, to change the policy. Because last time what are the problems from the last time? So for now, is it possible for you to change? This require for your um justification. Is it possible or not? Can we change any practices? Yeah, any practices can be changed. Okay, whether it is possible or not to change the policy and practice. Of course, and then you need to know the strategy. The strategy is already mentioned in the scenario given. It's really clear. The strategy already mentioned. Chapter 4 just now, we talk about manpower planning. We have differentiation strategy and low cost strategy. So what the question give you? Low cost or differentiation or whatever strategy. So based on that, then you need to answer the question. And then I ask you to I mentioned that this is important for you to analyze. If you were to know your capability, if you were to know your um, what do we call? Are you okay with these new changes? You must analyze your company, your own strength, okay, your own weaknesses. So you reflect what have you learned from the managing human resources. Then you can pick up the important uh, component or element there for you to reflect the given scenario. Okay, so to make use easier, I give the situation in Hanoi. So you must look at what are the environmental in Hanoi, the business environment in Hanoi. What about the government rules? Because the external factors coming from politics, economy, social, and technology, roughly, yeah. So you are given 550 to 600 words. Is it possible? Look at the strategy. What is the current trend in Hanoi? Okay, and then implement. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, all right. And then if you are um required to think about a new plan, a new suggestion or whatever, then you apply knowledge from the chapters that we're going to revise or we have revised for you to suit with the given context here, the the scenario here, the problem, the new initiative, the solution that you are going to introduce. You just apply. Okay, it's like small assignment, individual assignment. So we call project, and you assume that you are somebody who are expert in the HRM, managing human resources. Okay, so if I mention example, then you need to find example lah. What are examples of new things, and you can think from you can think creatively to suggest a new idea. Okay, so far we covered the chapters, and it is really important for you to apply from this chapter. Can we move to the next chapter? 10:25.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we look at the next chapter. Chapter 6, eh? Okay, recruitment and selection. Okay. Okay, I think you're aware of the human resource management function, I think from topic 1. So the rest of the topic, basically, what you can take is you can think about the practices. Recruitment and selection is function. So under recruitment and selection function, we have lots of practices. Different organizations have the same functions. They must do recruitment and selection. They must do compensation. They must do training and development. They must do industrial relations. They must, meaning they must have. They say they have the same role. All HRM managers, they have to perform the role of HRM. However, every organization might have different practices. For example, recruitment. I just would like you to understand the differences between function and practices. Okay, function will be the same. Recruitment and selection, training and development, performance appraisal or performance management, remuneration, industrial relations, safety and health, international human resource management. If let's say you are kind of international or global company. Okay, so people doing the same thing, but practices will be different. You can compare practices in VNUIS, okay, Vietnam, okay, in Vietnam, and maybe in Hanoi, you can compare company A and company B in terms of practices. You can find high performance based organization as outstanding organization, the best company in Hanoi, for example. You can compare today um, a small company in Hanoi. Let's say if you would like to apply for an employment for a job, so you might want to apply for the best company because they have different practices. Okay, so a different company may have different practices. For example, recruitment and selection. You need to reflect with the assignment. Okay, if you were to choose the recruitment and selection as you would like, as a thing that, or as a policy, or no, as a practice. Okay, you would like to talk about recruitment and selection. So you must um, understand, and you must choose what practices can you introduce. For example, um, a good company normally they introduce very attractive practices. Let's say reward no for example, selective hiring. You only hire the best people. You have selective hiring. The selective hiring means you only select high potential candidate, talented people. So meaning in your um hiring or advertising, um what do we call of job vacancy, you already highlighted that you need this criteria of employee. Okay, so your practices is about selective hiring. Even you can create your own terms. Okay, if you were to suggest the um, innovativeness, okay, or you can introduce another criteria as your um, um, uh, 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 practice as your practice. What will you practice in future in the recruitment and selection? So not only recruitment and selection, training and development, remuneration. You would like to introduce reward based performance. Okay, where maybe another company don't have that kind of practice. Okay, so the rest of the topic basically will provide you um, um, to think about what are the best, what are the best practices that you can introduce for each single HRM function. Okay. Right. So if you have cost leadership strategy, for example, okay, where you are aiming for lower price, you are aiming for lower price means you must produce, you must be efficient lah. You must be productive. So you must need to recruit those who had a good track record in terms of productivity, for example. Okay. So you might need to think about how to be more productive. Okay, so this chapter basically talk about the sources of recruitment, recruitment methods, okay, process of recruitment, okay. But in your case, you're not necessary to discuss the process and everything, but you may include the criteria. Okay, these are the process lah, that you would like to channel out your vacancy. Okay. Yeah. If you decided to choose recruitment and selection, you must be what do we call creative to introduce what kind of new thing that you introduce. If let's say you would like to only hire talented people, so this is one of the suggestion. Okay, in the recruitment and selection. So if you would like to um, talk about the skill, for example, what kind of skill that you need to meet the strategy that you have been described, then you can choose from this topic. Okay, any question? Do you know how to apply the knowledge? Okay, you pick up whichever possible for you to relate with the strategy that is applicable in your organization. Okay, so we have various sources lah. Normally, if you look at here, the fresh graduates, external recruitment, yeah, this is normally for the lower level jobs lah. Job where not required for experience. Okay, this one using technology. Okay, so this is also you have the possibility to sometimes if let's say you would like to highlight that how you're going to go about in recruitment and selection, so you can use this topic to apply. Okay. Um, mm, to make it possible suit with the criteria that you have decided to improve. Okay. Right. Okay. The selection process. Okay. I don't specify for the students to prescribe the selection process and whatnot because of when you have the terms practices, it's up to you to choose which HR practices that you would like to reflect the situation. So if you don't want to choose recruitment selection, you would like to choose training or whatever. So based on the requirements, you are free to choose. Okay, so in your case, you look at the Hanoi environment and how the organization can decide what kind of people do you want to recruit talented people, the best people out of all in the market, because you want somebody who can bring the improvement. Okay. But you are not necessary to explain in detail on the selection process. You just identify criteria of the employees. Okay, can you understand at this point? Please confirm. Can we have a break
Yes.
around 10 minutes? Can we have a break around 10 minutes? I think you also need to drink water first before we continue.
Excuse me. May I have a
Yes.
question about the selection process? So we will
Alright.
apply this for what?
Selection
For the
process. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Are you
But
okay? Okay, I don't require the student to explain in detail on the selection process. You just need to mention the criteria of the employees that you are going to consider in your organization. If you
okay.
choose recruitment and selection as one of the new practice that you are going to introduce.
So it's like to overview about the selection process only
Yeah,
that.
because of you have one question um on the you need to adapt with the innovative and effective processes. So practices will be coming from different HRM function: recruitment and selection, training and development, remuneration, industrial relation, safety and health, right? So each single HRM function has its own practices. So the first practice that we have here in from topic 6 is on the recruitment and selection. So if you were to introduce innovative recruitment and selection, what kind of thing can you introduce? Okay. So different companies might be expecting different potential candidate. Okay, if you look at outstanding organization, where the organization that's normally outperform, they're really excellent. So they normally use the selective hiring, where they recruit only high talented people. Okay, I believe you have question, right, to Tan Chong?
Oh,
Can you
yeah, yeah.
understand? Can you
Yeah.
understand now?
Yes, but I have another question. Sorry.
Can.
Oh, yeah. It's like about the final assignment is to approaching the assignment from the holistic perspective on the HR strategies. So it's like to given the context to provide in the question, and it is necessary to conclude that the company must change the policies and practice as in the
Yes, yes,
to align the new strategy.
yes,
So it's like to
yes.
analyze the potential for the change without fully assessing that the complete policy overhaul is required.
Not really look at into details of the policy, but a certain policy. Let's say you can give example what kind of new policy that you introduce in future.
Oh, yeah. I think, okay.
Okay, means that,
Yeah.
but don't you must specify based on the context given and also the question. So let's say if you would like to discuss question number 1, you must specify. You must answer according to the requirement. For example, I ask you, is it possible? So you must make sure you specify whether it's possible or not. Okay, and with your reason.
Yeah,
Okay, and
of
whether
course.
the organization has the capability or not, you justify. You justify. So to justify, is it are you capable or not? You need to reflect the environment surrounding Hanoi, right? The politics, economy, social technology, in brief. Okay, and then because for you to justify you are capable or not, you need to also analyze your own the internal factors. Means your HRM readiness, right? Do you have enough? Let's say if you were to talk about training and development, do you have enough subject matter expert, or maybe you call like you have planned that they are going to be trained to be good at certain competencies. Okay, so but make sure, that's why I prefer my student to highlight what are the requirements first, because sometimes the first question only asking you about this thing, the second question asking you about the different thing. Okay, so don't what do we call mixing the mix the question number 2 to question number 1. So highlight first what the question require. Make sure it's not redundant with the rest of the question. And the question is already clear.
Yeah.
Okay, can we take rest around 10 minutes?
Okay. Thank
So we
you.
get back around 9:50, Hanoi time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. 10 minutes. you can still see my screen, right? All right. Okay. So basically, this is not applicable, right? So no processes that um require you to describe. Okay. So this is basically you have utilized, I think, in your project lah. All right. Okay. The selection test and also the process of the recruitment and selection. So this is not applicable. Okay. I think I would like to highlight you on the um yeah, let me check. Yeah. Succession planning already covered. Yeah. That's all for recruitment and selection. Yeah. So hmm, there's key takeaways from this topic. Basically, the topic is about the practices being implemented in the recruitment and selection process that you need to apply in your final assessment. Okay, so recruitment and selection is one function in HRM. Yeah, but different organization will come up with their own preference, their own practices. So practices means how you are going to apply the recruitment and selection in your company. So either you are focusing on recruiting, you're preferring to have promotion, for example, from your company, or you might need to consider the strategy that have been described earlier. Let's say if the differentiation strategy, what kind of expectation that you plan to have from your employees? Do you talk about the bringing somebody who can provide innovative idea, who can perform well in your organization? Maybe you would like to recruit talented people. This is kind of practices you can choose to suit with your strategy. So it is not necessary for you to detail up or in terms of the process or whatever, but you just prescribe what kind of criteria that you would consider to suit with the strategy that the organization prescribe. Okay. Okay, so we finish for the recruitment and selection. Okay. I would like to proceed to the next chapter, chapter 7. Okay, chapter 7. Chapter 7 is on the remuneration and job evaluation. Okay. Remember, you must read the context given in the final assessment, highlight the most important keyword, what are the clue given there, and then your mindset need to always concern on the strategy that you are relying. If differentiation strategy, so what kind of practices that suit with your strategy. Okay, so now the first function was just now recruitment and selection, and now we proceed with remuneration and job evaluation. So you can choose remuneration and job evaluation as well to discuss on the new thing that you would introduce in the HRM function. Okay, there are practices under the remuneration and job evaluation. Okay, this chapter basically describing about the salary benefit, okay, compensation, and also how we assess the job itself, how we put value for the job, how much that we need to pay for the job based on what are the compensable things. Okay. Okay, remuneration, I think the spelling is incorrect. The remuneration. Okay. Remuneration. It is about the compensations lah, received by the employees. Okay. So we need to we can plan um based on the strategy and also the environmental factors. And of course, in Hanoi, you do have your own policy pertaining to managing human resources. They have the minimum com- they have the minimum rate or minimum range of compensation or salary. Okay. And another one is job evaluation. So we are going to look at what are the compensable factors. Which factors that we put a certain value. You wish what kind of job that um, we need to put the equitable remuneration or equitable worth lah. Okay, we assign how much for a different kind of job. So it is about the systematic and orderly process of determining the worth of a job related to others. So we put a certain value for a different job scope. Okay, so we have three: direct, indirect, and non-financial compensation. So how you are going to apply this topic to your project? Okay, so you must choose which practices you want to consider or you want to answer. Okay, from this topic, let's say if you like to answer from compensation, so what kind of practices that you can introduce? As a basic information, you need to aware of the different of compensation. So all of these things are the basic thing that you must know in your compensation. Okay, we have direct, indirect, and also non-financial. Okay, direct is clear lah, the salary, the wage, bonus and commission. Indirect is all other financial reward. We call indirect financial reward. Basically in the form of employee benefits, for example, insurance. Okay, it's under employee benefit. And non-financial compensation came from other factors that can contribute to a good psychological environment. Okay, happiness, or let's say you talk about the flexibility or working environment, supportive working environment. Also, it is under non-financial compensation. So you can apply the knowledge from compensation to describe any good practice that you would like to apply, so that the employees will have more motivation, they will be more happy, they will contribute most, they will something that can make them committed. Right. So here, from the I put a summary here. Okay, if let's say would like to talk about you might create a certain environment. So what kind of important um uh what do you call factors can lead to um attractive working environment. So for the direct, indirect, these are the example, and for the non-financial factors, these normally will be decided by the top management. What kind of for HR, basically they need to create non-financial factors that can contribute towards high commitment from the employee. Okay, for example, workplace flexibility. How do you think that workplace flexibility is a must nowadays to meet the different generational gaps? Are they preferring for workplace flexibility? So some of the factors here can be considered, okay, to suit with the strategy. Okay. The rest is about the option that you could have. Either you would like to apply get a better environment, a better compensation package. These are factors for direct financial compensation: base pay, basic salary, cost of living adjustment. Normally, we use the term COLA. Like government sector, normally they have COLA, cost of living allowance. Sometimes international HRM, or we call the if you have kind of global company also, if you, let's say you need to work to serve in overseas, you are going to be given cost of living adjustment. Seniority pay, performance-based pay, person-focused pay. So these are among the options that you can suggest. Okay? If you talk about high quality product, you talk about uniqueness, you talk about the high performance, okay, you can have the um, factors, okay, to or the types of direct financial compensation to encourage the employees to perform. Let's say you can talk about the make sure the high performance employees, high performance being to make sure the company sustain, okay, and meet the required demand in the environment, or to sustain in this strategy, okay, I introduce performance-based pay. Okay, if you are able to perform at your best level, then your pay would increase to the certain standard. Person focused pay, this is individual focused pay. This is based on the individual performance. Or maybe you have team-based performance. Okay, let's say sales. You have sales teams. So the performance of the team will lead to an increase in what do we call the reward. Okay, so you can introduce that one. Any questions so far? Can I have any question here? So this is one of the practices that you can use, okay, to apply in the assignment, in the project. Any question? So these are the details. Base pay, basic salary, cost of living adjustment in the case that the nature of your company is international, multinational business or global business, okay, where you ask your staff to go to overseas or whatever, so you can introduce COLA. Okay. Hmm. Normally, if the company would like to compete, the management team normally decided to introduce performance-based pay with sometimes team-based performance, right? Okay. Merit pay also would be um, one of the ways to uh, increase the performance. Merit bonus and spot bonus. Okay, and this is the salary range. Okay, incentive pay also can be introduced. This is to encourage performance, to improve the behavior, okay, to basically um, bringing the follower or bringing the employees towards the organizational expectation. Okay, we can introduce incentive plan. For example, you would like to encourage employees to attend more training. Okay, so you can introduce incentive. We give them incentive for them to join a certain fruitful training and training program, for example, okay, to increase the skills. All right. And this is, I think, this is a how we can see the example of calculation for the increase in the normal pay due to the quality or productivity. So we can encourage the employees to perform better by introducing incentive or by introducing reward. No? So incentive means you can perform better than the expectation, so you might be getting a different pay for that particular extra performance, right? The rest you're not required to reflect. Okay. All right. The rest is about job evaluation method also it's not applicable for the to be applied. Okay. But this I believe that you have gone through with your lecturer. Okay. So this is not so applicable. So okay. However, let's say this one, this is the different technique that we can introduce in the salary, basically to encourage the employee to have a positive perceptions toward your company. Okay, the broad banding, how they try to encourage the employees to understand that the company has a better compensation package. Instead of they use the uh, average hourly pay with on job worth, but they use the broadbanding. Broadbanding, you can see the fewer criteria, but basically they are referring to this. Okay, that's all for the compensation. Any question you would like to ask on the compensation? Yeah. Okay, again, I think I would like to emphasize on the indirect compensation. Means employee benefit. If you look at nowadays, we are relying most on the of course salary, but our concern is always 30% of our concern is always on benefit, medical benefit, sick leave, health insurance, personal leave, dental insurance, life insurance, retirement plan, and childcare and whatnot. So sometimes we join an organization, we also before that we also would like to know what benefit you can get from the company. So you all also can introduce in your company what kind of benefits. Other than this one, maybe you have thought on improving the another benefit. Let's say life insurance. You're going to improve the package, life insurance package. You're going to consider another another education plan, for example, education support. Okay, education support. You would like to introduce education support in your organization because you are talking about talented people. You are talking about talent. You would like to get more innovative idea, so you can introduce maybe sponsorship on a certain training or whatever. Okay, these are the benefit. Okay. This is these are the compulsory thing. So it's no longer your you cannot avoid from this one. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, indirect financial. This is the thing that we highlighted one by one just now. Okay. Okay. Okay, when we discuss on flexibility in chapter 5, okay, so that is one of the example of non-financial compensation. So you can also talk about the how the nature of job that you are going to improve, what kind of working environment, what about the work-life balance, chapter 5 just now. Um, so you would like to provide a meaningful job to them to encourage them to perform, and then you say that they are flexible. Flexibility is one of your approach in the organization where people can be flexible from what time to what time, or any platform that support the with flexibility, any certain access in your website that you can share your new knowledge. Okay, so this kind of new initiative might be fruitful. Yeah. Again, towards the end, we talk about work-life balance, right? Flexi time, okay, as long as you can meet the deadlines. Compressed work week means instead of 5 days per week, you can proceed with you can do compressed work week, maybe instead of five days, only 4 days required, and then but you need to meet the working hour, so you compress it to be so 4 days instead of 5 days, and then the next day you are free. Okay, so sometimes you have commitment with your own part-time schooling or part-time education. All right. Job sharing, two in a box, telecommuting, and part-time work. So yeah, this depends on the nature of job. But I believe that nowadays flexi time is really relevant. People are looking into flexibility most. All right. This is example. Okay. So you can start your job from maybe from 9 and finish at 6, or from 6 finish at 3. Mm. Okay. The generations, study the generations nowadays, what kind of workplace criteria that they prefer. Okay, so these factors can make employees satisfy. Okay, so different nature of job might provide better result. Telecommuting, I'm highlighting telecommuting because nowadays we are relying most on the network, on the IT. Okay, you able to remain at home or away from office and perform work using computers and other electronic devices. Okay, which is more popular in recent years. So, uh, in the nature of work nowadays require us to give instant feedback, require us to um, to rely more on the uh, electronic kind of data, for example, where you like it or not, you must rely on computer, and also uh, you must be efficient. Okay, so telecommuting is one of the example that we can introduce when we talk about we talk about the work-life balance, the flexibility. Okay, the next is about the time work. Okay, right. So, any question from this part? Remuneration and job evaluation. So, basically, to apply in your assignment or your project, you can think about practices under remuneration. And remuneration composed of um, a package of compensation. Okay, that consists of um, direct compensation, indirect compensation, and non-financial compensation. Okay, direct in the form of salary. Okay, and indirect in the form of benefits. Non-financial compensation basically easier for you to remember is about work-life balance. Anything that can make them happy, anything can make them committed or motivated, we call non-financial compensation. And it's not physically measured. Okay, you can maybe collect the data pertaining to employee commitment, satisfaction, okay, their expectation in the form of non-monetary term. Okay, so if you were to suggest the practice, so you can think about flexibility, for example. Okay, so in terms of flexibility, what kind of flexibility? What will you do to indicate that this is flexibility practice? Okay, any questions? So here means you need to think about the practice lah. Right. Yeah. So not to detail up everything on the how to come up with competitive pay policy. You choose a certain kind of factors that can convince more how to suit with the strategy. Okay. Any question? Yeah. If you look at here, the focus should be from these three or either one or either two. What kind of compensation package that you would introduce? What makes the employee satisfied? What are the expectations they would like to have? Look at the message, look at the scenario, and how you can use compensation or remuneration to solve the problem. Yeah. Okay. So here, not only monetary term, but we have also the non-financial compensation. Okay, that can encourage employee to perform. Okay, can we any question from this part? Okay, any problems or anything so far that you'd like to raise here? Okay, so means from each single topic, starting from topic 5, 6, 7 so far. 5, 6, 7, right? Yeah. You can choose which practices that are really suit with um your what do you call your case, your scenario. Okay, you're free to decide, and we have until topic 12. Okay. Um, would you like to? I think we still have time. Can we include another one more topic for the revision? Can anyone confirm? Okay, so we proceed with another one because of I think you have yeah, performance appraisal, eh? Okay, performance appraisal, which is really important. I think you have a very specific performance appraisal or performance management topic that you need to be good at that, right? So we proceed with the next. We still have time around 1 hour. Yeah, so sharing. Yeah. No, no. Okay, we have training and development. Okay. 7. Okay, I think I proceed with topic training and development lah. Training, not performance appraisal. Performance appraisal tomorrow. Training and development. Where training and development also would be one of the function, and you need to think about the practices that you can introduce in the company if you choose training and development as one of the topic to discuss in the um, final assessment. Okay, so to suit with the strategy that you do have or do guided in the uh, final assessment. So in the case, let's say with cost leadership strategy, what you can do on training and development, what are the expectations that the company wants from training and development? Different strategy require different expectation. So if differentiation strategies, what differentiation strategy expectation? Okay. Do they talk about outstanding performance? Do they talk about the innovative um, thinking? Do they talk about productive and also outstanding performance? Do they talk about the quality? Okay, so training and development programs might influence. Okay, the decision in training and development program is important. Okay, training is quite easy for you to understand, and we have two terms here: training and development. So under different strategy, let's say if you have differentiation strategy, what can be the most important thing in training, and what are the criteria for the development program? Okay, first of all, I would like to make the differences among three terms because you're going to discuss if you choose training and development as one of the main function for you to suggest the initiatives under training and development. Remember, the training is about the short term where we talk about the current job, and development we talk about the future job. Okay, so current expectation, you must make sure all the employees must be trained to be good at their current job. But development require you to choose the future potential employees to be developed. So we select the certain potential candidates for development. Okay, for the development. So that's why training and development is a planned and continuous effort. So if you choose training and development is as one of the function that you are going to suggest for the improvement, you must be well versed with the terms training and development. And then when you explain, you must highlight this is for the current, and for the future, we talk about development program. And training is for all, development is for selected people. Okay. Now, so when you choose training and development, okay, to suggest on innovative or to suggest on new practice or whatever, you must relate with the Hanoi situation, meaning not too detailed, but you reflect the Hanoi situation. For example, you talk about the new technology emphasized or adopted by many suppliers or whatever that might need you to rely on technology most. So you're going to consider technology as one of the what you call themes or training consideration. So you are going to make sure that your staff have well equipped with the new technology. Even the HR also will apply HR analytics, for example, in the case that it is suit with your with the Hanoi context. It not only talk about the when you talk about the new initiative, try to reflect with the current situation in Hanoi. Any questions? So if you look at here, these are the factors influencing working and learning. So if you choose training and development, before you talk about the what kind of training you would like to assign to your staff, you can always reflect to the situation in Hanoi. For example, in your internally, you can talk about to align with the business strategy. So what strategy the situations prescribe? Okay. Any question? Okay. So this is the what do I call the figure to make you understand about the relationship between the process flow or the relationship between the what do we call online platform or support from the organization to achieve the business goal and competitive advantage. So you must reflect from your, if you choose training and development to be in discussion, so you must reflect the competitive advantage that the company has to your situation. Okay, so you can talk about how you support your organization. Maybe you talk about the system that you have, okay, so that you can reach the competitive advantage. You're talking about to say you will make sure that your staff have the capability to produce the right product or to meet the specification and even be working beyond the expectation so that you can remain your competitive advantage and sustain in the business. Can I have question? Anyone would like to ask question? Okay, if not, then I go to the next page. Right. So in your context, what kind of strategy the situation prescribe, and then you reflect with the strategy that you plan in your chosen HRM function. Okay, in this context, training and development. Okay, so you are free to choose which HRM functions you want to talk about. You want to give example. You want to talk about initiative. You want to talk about something new that you would like to introduce. Okay, you are free. So that's why it's important for you to understand it for each single HRM function, right? Okay, just now we finished or completed with the human resource planning, job analysis, job design, and work-life balance, where you can focus on job design and work-life balance, recruitment and selection. If you choose recruitment and selection, you might need to think about what kind of expectation in terms of workforce that are going to join the organization. You and then remuneration. We talk about compensation package. Let's say if you were to compute, you're expecting for you're expecting for innovativeness in your organization. Of course, you want somebody who are quite talented people to come into your organization. And now we talk about training and development. If you choose training and development to be discussed, then you must make sure you understand the term training and development and how you can apply the scenario of Hanoi. Okay, how people relying uh, to this technology, for example, how they how their preference, how they prefer to for them to be motivated to perform, what kind of thing they need. Right. So in training and development, we say that we support them in terms of training, we support them in terms of development. Those who meet with a certain expectation or performance, we are going to promote them, we develop them. Okay, so you can use this topic as well for you to apply. Right. Training for them to be good at the current job, development for the future job. So we identify those who can be developed for the future job. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so meaning as of now, it's compulsory for you to utilize chapter 4. Chapter 4 manpower planning is compulsory. You will utilize the chapter. And after that, we have job analysis, job design, and work-life balance. You can use job design and work-life balance. After that, we talk about recruitment and selection. Okay, you just need to think about how to suit with the strategy, what strategy is all about, and what kind of employees that you're expecting to succeed in your strategy. Okay, so when we talk about recruitment and selection, I'm talking about internal or external staff, what kind of people you are expecting to support your sustainability. All right. And after that, remuneration and job evaluation. If you choose the remuneration as one of the topic for you to reflect the scenario, so you must be able to relate the financial factors and also non-financial factors. I mean, from the you can talk about benefit, any new benefit that you would introduce, and what kind of compensation package. Is it competitive salary, or is it equitable remuneration, or is it a normal, what do we call, the current market trend? You must decide on your own and then justify. And the non financial compensation, normally people nowadays looking into work-life balance, right? Flexibility, work-life balance. So what kind of thing that you can introduce? And now we talk about training and development. If you choose training and development, is one of the topic that we're going to talk about in terms of innovativeness, in terms of practices. Yeah. So you can include what are the important components. Okay. So number one, you must identify training and development. Training for the current work skill, development or is for the future work skill. So in manpower planning, we plan for the whole workforce, for the future leadership. So future leadership succession planning, or we call that we call development program. So we use development program for leadership position. We use only selected people to develop. For training, everybody will be trained. Okay. The process of training and development is not necessary for you to prescribe. We need to determine the training needs, not necessary. However, if you feel like you want to prescribe the training and development needs because you want to show that the program that you're going to introduce, you're going to implement is the right program that can support the objective of the program, then you can. That's why each single individual student may have different answer because of it depends on you how you're going to utilize the knowledge from training and development for you to describe your approach. Okay, because in training and development you would like to talk about anything new that you introduce. Maybe you talk about previously training needs you make compulsory for everybody. But nowadays, since you talk about the innovativeness, you only will choose selected people who are in the product design, okay, for them to attend training. Okay, so it's up to you. All right. But don't waste your time to only focus on the one thing, because you need to come up with few things in your answer. This is the first step, I think, in needs analysis lah. Okay. All right. So because you are limited with the number, for example, in the case that you need to come up with the three practices, So you have around 600 words. So you need to be good at dividing the practices into three. So at least you have 200 per practices. per practice. Per practice. Okay. So if you found, let's say you have no idea, but you think about, you need to think, how can you improve for each single suggestion, right? The need assessment, basically the first assessment that you need to do to before deciding the training lah. I don't want to go into detail here because basically you have to do this one. In the case that you would like to highlight this need assessment, because if you fail in the needs assessments, you're going to fail for the whole training. Okay, in the case that you would like to highlight that training and development is one of your practices that you would like to improve. Okay, since the strategy is about ABC, okay, so you're going to make sure that you carefully doing a need assessment where you're going to analyze the organization, task, and also the person. Okay, so it's up to you, right? The rest is about the method lah. Okay. For the method, in the case you would like to include, you can, but not necessary to explain in detail because I don't ask you to focus on the processes or detail of the methods, but you just can introduce anything that you would like to. It seems like if it is an innovative idea you would like to suggest, then you can include more. Okay, but for the thing like that is the previous methods, then you just can write only very a brief explanation. But if you do have something new, innovative ideas, then you can explain more. Okay. The rest is about the detail lah. I don't think you need to you can just touch and also reflect the context lah, right? The job training, job rotation, case study, classroom. Yeah, this is method lah. This is not really applicable, but you can, if you have an idea, like just now I mentioned that you can always a little bit explain on the idea. Let's say you talk about the new methods in training, virtual reality, for example. How do you going to design the virtual reality in your workplace? We do have the definition, but in your workplace, how you are going to deliver that? Okay. Yeah, and the last part I think here is on the training evaluation. This is the from the Kirkpatrick model. So let's say if you choose training and development, this part might be useful for you. Okay, because you're going to reflect how the training and development, the innovative approach under training and development might reflect your output, your outcomes. Any questions? They utilize the 200 to explain how that new practice can be implemented and how it can produce a good result to reach the achievement of or outcome of the strategy. Right? Careers and career planning approach also you can adopt. If what kind of thing that you can introduce. Yeah. Yes. So if you choose training and development, remember you must include both training and development. Training is for current skill, development is for future skill. So based on the strategy, how do you plan for the future development? Right? So you must have both. Okay. Yeah, this is just yeah. Here is development, management development. So You can talk about how do you develop your first line supervisor. First line supervisor is the first line manager, okay, the supervisor. So how do you develop them? All of this actually to encourage the employees to be motivated and also to perform. So you will use the training and development for the sake of encouraging potential candidates for the future position and for the current uh, development. Okay. Right. Towards the end, we have mentoring and coaching. So for training and development, um, question, if you choose these two terms are really important for the development. Yeah. Because of sorry, Bas, sebab nampak. Okay. Um, the mentoring and coaching are two terms you learned last time. Coaching basically, we coach. The supervisor normally will coach the employees how to be good at their job. So the current job, they provide instructions sometimes, okay, for the employees um to be good at their task. So we call coaching until you can perform on your own. You are performing, but the coach normally will make sure that you can do on your own. So maybe they can provide instruction. Okay, basically some sort of support for the employees to make them able to cope up and able to move into the new direction. Okay, mentoring. Mentoring. It has different approach. Sometimes the organization appoint a mentor to the employees. Okay, they appoint a mentor, and mentoring purposes, especially is um for for future leadership positions. So it's about personal development with mentor. So in the case that your organization would like to have bright potential employees in future, you can suggest that mentoring and coaching as practice in your company. You can introduce, like, say, a pair mentoring system. Okay, you assign potential employees to the mentor. Okay, because in the human resource management, we can assign mentor to the employees. So this is one of the practices that you could suggest, lah, right? So we have mentoring and coaching, right? Okay. And one more thing is about learning organization. So if you there is always an improvement needed by the organization. So we notice that learning organization normally applying the what do we call um, continuous development, continuous learning in the organization. So you can also suggest that learning organization you would like to implement or emphasize on learning, um, continuous learning in your organization. So you provide a certain website or you provide support and tools for your employees. So this is for the sake of continuous improvement in terms of knowledge that you would like your staff to be good at. And that's all for training and development. So altogether, we're done with the HR planning, job analysis, job design, and quality of work life, recruitment and selection, remuneration, pay, training and development. So tomorrow we have 4 more topics to go, but the 4 topics basically you can focus on I think the performance appraisal because you have a certain the scenario require you to be good at performance appraisal or performance management. Okay, we still have time, so I would like um to get feedback from you. So if you do have any question. I think for today we finish at 12 o'clock lah, right? And then we continue tomorrow. because our class supposed to be at 9 to 12. We just last time just now we waited for more comers. So any question? At least you managed to utilize from the topics that we have discussed. Or you want to stop now and continue with your assignment? Hello. Okay, so you have 4 questions. Look at the question carefully. What the question require you? Please make sure no redundancy with the rest. And for the guided for your guideline, I provide you a rubric towards the end of the exam paper, the project, and look at how the allocation of marks given to each question. All right. So use the information from the relevant chapters and then apply in the question. So for each question, I gave you 550 to 600. So plan with the number of words given. If let's say I ask about example, so make sure you provide a clear example in the context of Hanoi. Okay? So with the Hanoi. Remember, environmental factors also important if you were to talk about strategy. So before you the strategy, the strategy already given. So how you can suit with the strategy by applying the knowledge or the internal or external environmental factors. Internal from your company, external from outside, beyond your control. You cannot control, but you need to adapt or adopt with the um, external factors. Okay, can I listen from any one of you? Any problems or any question you would like to ask, or yeah, or you would like to suggest that we continue tomorrow? You would like to stop? Because I also don't want to waste your time. Yeah.
I think we currently we don't have no questions. So if we have, I think we will ask you tomorrow.
Yeah, because tomorrow also we have some more topics that you can choose as your practices. Remember, you need to suggest, right? And then performance appraisal, performance management is very important. And after that, you might also look at other topics if you can choose practices, because practices you can pick up from any other HRM functions that you are interested in, and then you may have your creative idea to suit with the strategy that has been described in the scenario. So think about that, and then remember when I give you Hanoi, you must make sure that you suit with the Hanoi. So if I mention Hanoi, there must be environmental factors in Hanoi. What about the regulation? What about the compensation scheme there? What about the competitors? And if you would like to talk about, you would like to mention the industry that you imagine or you assume, also you can. Okay, because the purpose is to test your capability to apply the knowledge from HRM 201 to the given context. Okay? And you are limited with the number of words for each question. Okay, so highlight question 1 asking about what, question 2, 3, and 4. Not difficult. Get back to the respective topic on how you can apply. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, if no more question, I think I don't want to waste your time. We see you tomorrow. Tomorrow also important. We're going to look at which topic that could be applied. Example as an example, for you to apply in the question. Because of I think this is your first time, maybe for the HRM 201, the project kind of examination. Okay. So okay. So see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock Hanoi. Right? If we can finish earlier tomorrow, then we're not going to to wait until 12, because you have also okay papers, okay, to complete. All right. So thank you for your attendance, and hopefully you can answer at your best level for those who attended, especially. Right. So because out of 60 plus, I think we have only 9 or how many just now? 12, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay. So all the best. Good luck, and also good luck. Yeah. Thank you. So you may
Bye-bye.
leave.
Thank
Thank
you.
Yeah.
you.
Bye bye. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye bye.